Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. This book is by Robert B. Cialdini, PhD. And I'm sure CIA being the first three initials in his last name means absolutely nothing. Seriously, at least I hope it doesn't. This book was published in, I think originally in 1984. This was originally published in 84. I found this at a local bookstore and somewhere around like 2005, 2006, somewhere in there. And this, just first a disclaimer here, this is not, unlike a lot of other stuff I've covered, this has no real angle to it. There's no political underpinning or anything like that. This is purely just what it says. It is all about how people are convinced of things. And it does cover a little bit of some political issues here and there about, again, bigger persuasion things. This has the famous, one of those famous shock tests where people took part believing they were shocking a person who was an actor in another room, and that they were delivering a potentially lethal shock, and how they responded to that under orders to keep shocking this person. Lots of famous tests like that, lots of famous studies in this, and this is an overall kind of big picture view of just that the industry of using psychology in marketing, and mainly in marketing and in the use of marketing, psychology and public relations. So good book, but just don't expect it to take any dark turns, because it doesn't. This stays firmly in the mainstream. Some of the tests he cites do have some kind of shocking overtones when you really think about what they mean for society at large. But one thing that stuck out with me that I read, and this is actually pretty tame, that stuck with me ever since I first read it, was an example he gives about the influence of psychology in marketing and pricing. And I've seen this firsthand a lot of times, but where he gives the example of a jewelry store in Arizona, I believe it was, and the owners of the store were leaving on vacation, and they were leaving their employees in charge, and they left a note for one of the ladies in charge to mark some of the jewelry, some of their silver jewelry, mark it half off so they could move it while they were on vacation. Well, the girl reading the note misunderstood this handwritten note and thought that she meant to double the price and not half off. So she doubled the price. And when they came back, all the jewelry was sold. So people thought that the price was going up, and it might be going up again, so therefore they need to grab it before it went up anymore. And that is a strange concept, the concept of scarcity, and people believing that a price could continue to go up is a fascinating concept, because sometimes you don't, especially as a consumer, a lot of people don't think of that kind of psychology could be at play. But I've seen that happen in my own industry, where there are certain things that if people see that they're too cheap, they won't buy it, because they think there must be something wrong if something's too inexpensive. So if the price has to be at a certain point, or people don't trust the product. So there's some really interesting psychology in there. And this book is full of that kind of thinking. Really helpful if you are applying psychology to sales or in business. This is very helpful, but also just from a layperson's perspective too, of just understanding how your brain works and how you process some of this information that you don't even think about. So anyway, great book. I've actually bought this, I think, at least 3 times, at least twice that I've given this book away, because I got to talking with somebody about it and wound up giving them the book and then never got it back. But that's okay, because this one's easy to find on Amazon, so I've bought it several times, and like I said, it's great. I even bought an extra copy for one of my children who was interested in some of this stuff. So Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert B. Cialdini. I'm probably not saying that wrong. PhD.